Welcome back to the colony on Mission to Mars on Farming Simulator 22. It's episode 10 with me, Mr. Sealy P. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mars. As you've just seen, the stones that were all around the back of that field that we harvested in the last episode have all now been collected. I've picked up, it took quite a while. We're into April 1, as you can see, and also today's trees have gone in. I haven't updated my the FarmerBOB 3000 yet, but what I'm going to do in this episode, hopefully we're going to hit the 3 C's. I've got to speed this up a little bit. I've got to get a bit further forward. I need to take the rest of those trees down. I am aware of that. Our corn is ready to harvest. And what we'll do, I'm going to harvest that, do the sowing, and then we're going to skip into April 2, potentially May, because our wheat and sunflower is nearly ready to go. So I want to get the wheat done, because the wheat will give us the byproduct of straw. The wheat we can feed to chickens. The straw we can use for bedding, and we can use as the final component for total mix ration. So I'm looking at crops, cows and chickens is the plan for this episode. So we should be able to start knocking off a few more things off our to-do list. The crops are still going to be the trickier one. I am almost at the point now tempted to say, once we've got the sugarcane in, which should hit our mark, whether we hit it all with root crops. And in countries where food sources can be scarce, you generally find it is crops like that. High carb, starchy, things like potatoes, sugar beets generally, are what feed masses. Rice, those kind of things. Obviously wheat and stuff is great for making flour, but there are onward processes where at least doing root crops, you can take them out of the ground, wash them, cook them, eat them. It's that kind of thing. So I'm going to put wheat in this one. I think we prepare. Okay, that's interesting. We're putting wheat in the ground and it's doing. Oh, because it's a planter, isn't it? That's all right. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry about a thing. It's all good. So yeah, the next lot of trees have got to come out. So I think, yeah, crop-wise, I might. Yeah, it's a bit dodgy. I said about pig food crops. I need to get a pig food mixer. All I need is enough animal feed for all of the animals to reproduce once, because I'm buying in half of what we need. Then when they reproduce, we've hit our limit in the pens, and that's what our target is. That's what we've been set to achieve. So that's all I need to do. I need enough feed to do that. That really is sort of the limit of what's required. So I'm thinking that might be the way to go. So I think once we've harvested our crops out of these fields here, once the corn's out, the wheat's out, and we've done the sunflower, I might end up planting carrot, parsnip. We did red beet already. Maybe potato, maybe sugar beet, I don't know. and then we can knock off potentially at the next harvest time another 3. Yeah, another 3 of our crop types, which will give us 4 of the 6. Like I say, I need to speed this up. I said this in my evergreen episode. I'm getting bogged down with doing things daily and not speeding up enough. I was concerned about being able to organise and get enough stuff supplied and delivered to the colony. But as you can see, top right, all of the mining, all the things, it's producing enough money, enough income, enough revenue, enough is going back to Earth that we haven't got to worry about that now. I say we haven't got to worry, we shouldn't have to worry about that. It was suggested, and I did think about it. I think it was HMG and a couple of other people messaged me to say about getting a forage wagon when I was doing all the grass work, and a lot of people suggested if I got a forage wagon and then did my corn harvest as silage. I don't need to. All the grass I cut, and once those fields are ready to go again, I've got my fermenting silo, we've got hay and silage underway. I don't need any more silage. I won't need any more. Those crops will be 4 crops, and if I'm growing the various different things I need, again I'm going to have to check on certain pig food mixers. I could buy pig food in, but I'm intending to go pig food mixer. I need to make sure I've got the required crops to do pig food. And that's really what I'm aiming for with my crops. Knocking off those off the target, and yeah, enough for animals. I'm going to put a single row of trees around the back of here. Now I've taken all the stone out. You saw I've got trees went up to a certain point. I've still got a lot of the top lip up there where I can get a load more in. It's going to be whether or not we hit the limit. Like I said early on, a few people messaged and said it's around the 7,000 mark, even if you take out all the trees that are on the map, and it's asking for 10. So potentially we could hit every target but not the trees. So it could end up being technically a failure on a technicality. It's not a technicality, is it? If you've got to hit all of those things to succeed, then technically we will fail the whole thing, even if we have supplied everything else. The future of humanity is in our hands, people. Not fantastic hands for them to be in. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it's going to be. I think we'll bounce between a few jobs. I'll get this done, then I'll get on with the corn harvest. We'll get the corn all in, and we'll get that stored. That's probably going to be a lot of the base food towards pig food. And then we'll skip ahead however far we need to have the other 2 crops ready. We'll get into the field and harvest those. I was considering, do I want to buy another harvester? Maybe. We've got the one, well, not the one it originally started with. I swapped it out, didn't I? And now I'm thinking whether to go for one from the Colossus Harvester pack, only because it's, they look sort of futuristic and whiz-bang. Although the one I've got, it looks kind of futuristic. I'll probably just stick with what I've got, in all honesty. It makes sense. So therein lies my plan. I might have to order some more seed in, actually. We're not actually making our own seed anywhere. So we're going to probably have to order some more seed. Which isn't a problem. I'll get some pallets. Oh no, we can't, can we? How do we do it before? We can do big boxes of fertilizer. We might just have to bite the bullet and buy the required amount, I guess. We've got enough money. It's not like we're short of funds to buy it. Usually if I'm start from scratching or something like that and money's tight, and you have to try and find other ways or the cheapest alternatives or the most you can get for, as I always say, most bang for your buck. But I actually think we can just buy it. Why not? I know, it's crazy. Just buying seed? Are you mad, man? I'll tidy that a little bit up afterwards. So, once this is all in, this will need to be rolled, and it will probably need... Actually, I do need to check this. Do we need... it's going to need another fertilising. So I need rolling and another fertilising state, which I can do at some point. I'm trying to hopefully stagger fields being ready to harvest. That's what I'm going to do. I was going to skip ahead and have corn, wheat and sunflower all good to go. The problem is when I do it that way, then I've got to do all the prep work for the fields all in one hit, and that's what takes the time off camera, is getting all that work done ready to go again, because they're not small fields. They don't look that big on the map, but they're fair sized fields, and it all takes time. We are down in the XBR2. It's 7:21 in the morning. I meant to say, when I said about getting, I've got an automaton out there doing the rolling. The other rollers we sent back. I had ordered the new set of rollers, but they hadn't arrived. But they had arrived by shuttle. We've got them now, so they are here. It is a new month, so new shuttle deliveries are in. The other rollers, because they're on the floor all the time, if you roll over a crop, it will roll them. So I couldn't really find a route out with those on the ground rollers. So what I had to do was get a new set. I've got some of the bigger ones. I think it's 24 meters, is it, something like that? So that's running at the moment. This thing, I thought, like I say, it's kind of very angular, very space age and modern looking, but obviously hasn't got a large head on it. I'll unfold that. I do have another problem. When I was doing the stones, I goofed and it was a bit of a problem. I'm not gonna lie. I keep saying that, don't I? I'm not gonna lie, to be honest with you. All those kind of things. This looks great. It looks space age. It looks wonderful. It's 65,000 litres. If you unload it, and I don't know if it was just because I was doing stone, I unloaded it onto the floor, loaded the stone in, then I couldn't load it back up again. It was hooked, and every time it tried to lift, the entire vehicle lifted up in the air, but it wouldn't lift the back on. So I'm making the assumption it was stones. What I'm hoping is, actually I need to double check that, when we unfold the pipe on this, the pipe is high enough that we can reach into it. Oh, it's going to be close, isn't it? Oh, we're on the skirt. Yeah, I mean, we're right there. We've got to be careful. I thought I'd matched up this header quite well, but I think I've ended up with a metallic header, haven't I? Yeah, look at that. Okay. That's alright. So, corn done. So wheat's in. It's being rolled at the moment. Let's go in there. So let's get that turned on. Oh. That was odd. Was I pressing the wrong button? Potentially. There we go. Then this might be one that we can, because of the gravity on Mars, we can go a little bit faster. I think we can go to 10 on this, which we'll do momentarily, but we'll get it up and going. I don't know what the yield's going to be like. I mean, if it turns out the yields off of these fields are a lot higher than I think they're going to be, yes, we are going to use some for feed and for, you know, whatever it is we're going to need them for. But what we could end up doing is actually storing them and saying, you know what, let's stick another load in. I can't see that being the case. I don't think we're going to get that much, not compared to a root crop anyway. Probably could have done with getting a wider header, really. I'm sure I'll go on. And then it'll be the cycle repeats. Prep the field, get the next crop in it, get it rolled over, and get it going. We're not season. We haven't got seasons on this one or precision farming like we have on Evergreen. So we can just roll straight into the next crop, which does make life a lot easier. I'm genuinely curious to see what we get off this. I suppose I should be having a look at the old pig food mixers. I think I've got a couple in the catalogue we can have a look at. Can't quite see through there. How's the rolling going? Is it still going? I've had problems with it. Oh no, we're coming up the field. That's alright. I can just see it through the trees, that white movement. There we go, through there. I still haven't collected the forage wagon. We got that, was that a month ago, 2 months ago? That's still sat. We haven't needed it, to be fair, so we'll go and get that at some point. Once the grass grows again, I probably will do another load. I might just do one of the fields just to top up what we've got. We'll see how we go with how much we're using. But if we don't need to, then there's no point. There you go. What we'll do, we can check on the old map. There we go. So that's going to need a second fertilising, and then that field's done. Wheat in, we are growing. Like I say, these two potentially going to be next up. This thing runs really well. It's got quite a, what was the capacity on this? I want to say 20 something thousand litres. I can't remember now. 21, 22, something like that. We'll see when it's full, won't we? I need to add some metal sheeting on the top. I think this goes up another one. I'm pretty sure we can have a big grain tank on this up to 20. I'm sure it might even be 29,000. I don't think it's to 30. But I mean, 19.1's not, that's brilliant. But I think we can go bigger. I'm sure we can go bigger. I don't think we have a toolbox, do we? Just taking it all over to the workshop, which I guess we can do. I'll see if we can get a bigger top on this. We must be able to get a bigger top on it. That'll make it a lot easier for doing the wheat and other stuff as well. Things get stranger and stranger on Mars, I'm not going to lie. It's just before midday. Can you hear bells? Oh, am I losing my mind? I could have sworn I could have bells ringing. Like it was midday, like on some maps when you get the bells ring. Anyway, the field's cleared. Last bit in here. I can't remember how much we put in already. A couple of them were odd loads, not full loads. I was almost full. I was worried about not being able to pick it off the ground. I could load into it as it was, but I tried putting it on the ground. I got to 48,000 litres, I think, and just about got it up. So there's a couple of higgledy ones. I've got one of my autonomous workers ploughing the field, so we'll be good to go on that. And I've got another autonomous worker who's fertilising the far field that we put wheat in. So we'll go and put this into storage, and then hopefully tomorrow, possibly the day after, we'll get cracking on the next two crops, get those in. And like I said, before the end of the episode, I want to have those crops done, some more crops in, cows and chickens. I don't know if we'll manage all of that. Maybe. We shall see. Workers complete their task. The ploughing was... Oh, that could be the fertilising. I'll say the ploughing wasn't finished. Let's switch to that. I'll unload into our big silo. And see what we've got. It wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be, but it's going to be fine for pig food or whatever else we're going to need. So if we come over here... That's alright. So our red beet, we cleared what we needed. The grass. This is spare grass in here, isn't it? Yep. So 168,000 litres, 770. 168,770 litres. That's alright. That'll do nicely. Like I say, it's to hit our 800,000 litres, we'd have to do 4 more harvests. 3 wouldn't cover it, would it? On that same field. So I'm thinking, yeah, we might have to root crop it. Just the thought, actually, I'm going to check on, as I haven't checked recently, let's check on our fermenting silo and see how our hay and silage is going. Is it hay and silage? It was in here, wasn't it? 143,000 litres of each. Brilliant stuff. 712 of grass still in here, still chugging away. We've got more grass in that silo that I'm feeding the sheep at the moment, and we've got more grass in one of the silos over there as well. So once that's all run through, we should have enough hay and silage, and then when we get the wheat harvest done on the field there, we'll have the straw off of that. That will give us our... oh, we're going to need mineral feed, because we're using the feed robots on the cow barns. I'm going to need to pre-order some. I'll get some ordered because we're definitely going to need some. So I'll see you when the next crop's ready. Like I say, I'm just trying to get further ahead with this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's May 1. It's 11:13. It has been raining up to now, so I had to keep going until the rain stopped. As you've already seen, I got rid of... we were not getting along. It wasn't working. It wasn't a relationship that was going to work. The Joskin, I don't know. I just couldn't get on with it. So we ordered... that got shipped back. We ordered this. It is a new month, so deliveries have arrived. Transpace, 70,000 litre. It's a push unload, so it doesn't tip, which is going to be quite handy. So it's a little bit bigger than what we had before. It's a much lower profile, works really well. Our mineral feed is here. I've split that into 2 stacks of 3, because obviously we've got 2 cow barns. If I drove it over as it was, unless I unloaded it, you know, with a loader, I can actually go to the trigger point, hopefully unload the first 3. Then if I can back away and drive around to the other one, do the other 3, so I can split it evenly between the 2 cow barns. That's the plan. Crops, sunflowers are good to go. Our wheat is good to go, and we are, I would say, into I'm say May 2, maybe June. Our sugarcane will be good, and so will our... it was canola, wasn't it? So if we look here, so we're good to go, good to go. And as you can see, we've got a crop in the ground here. Intriguing, isn't it? The crop I put in the ground. Carrots. I said I was going to do more. So off camera, that's done. That got ploughed, fertilised, seeded, planted, and then fertilised again. So we go across growth and then fertilised. There we go, we are good. So these are good to go, and then these 2 are on very dark green, so they should be good to go next. Although we've got some sugarcane that is already ready to go. Oh, so it will be soon, very soon. So that could put us on, potentially, when that's ready, that'll be crop 2, crop 3 off our list of required 800,000 litre crops, potentially. But the more exciting thing at the moment is I'm going to get the wheat done. I'm doing the wheat first. We'll get the wheat harvested. I say that sunflower I'm not bothered about. The sunflower will go into storage because that may be a component part towards pig food. If it's not, doesn't matter, we can always sell it. But or we can do a big sunflower harvest at one point to bring us up to another crop requirement. But the wheat we want for chickens for feed, and we want the straw swath so we can put everything into the robots at the cow barns, cow pastures, and we can get our total mix ration running, and we can get our cows in. I'm going to use the herdsman stick. Actually, that's a good point. What we'll do is when we bring over the mineral feed for the cows, we'll get the cows and we'll bring them over. Good shout to Mr. Silly P. I think that will work very nicely. Tickety boo, I believe is the phrase. I bought over everything. Everyone has assembled. All of my automatons are all here. We are good to go. So trailer for unloading that. Then we've got in preparation of I've got my forage wagon so we can pick up the straw. I've got our planter so we can put the next crop in. We've got our roller, we've got our fertiliser spreader with our fertiliser, and we've got our plough. I don't technically, I don't think I'm going to need to plough this one. The corn you definitely do. After a corn harvest it needs to be done. Sugarcane's going to be a tricky one because sugarcane regrows over and over again. But I'm not, if I get my 800,000 litres, I'm not going to need it to regrow again. If I don't get my 800,000 litres, I'll leave it and we'll just need refertiliser. So that won't be done. So we'll crack right along. As you might notice, I was trying to find a colour that matched that yellow. That gold wasn't working for me. No, not a blingy kind of person. Wasn't my thing. So I think I've got straw swath already enabled. Let's turn that on. Let's get crack-o-lacking. Thank you to everyone who commented on the or messaged me directly off the back of the Evergreen episode. I had a conversation with HMG yesterday, Heavy Metal Gaming, and I think I probably overshared. I probably said too much, went into too much detail, and I think I'm in my own head too much. Most people coming back are saying, you know, you should just play the game for you, don't worry about anything else. And it's an easy thing to say, but that's what I've got to do. I absolutely have to. And I came onto here after getting some of those comments to start doing what I was doing, and thought, you know what, when I was doing Court Farm, and like I said, that was just, I just loved that map, and I was just enjoying playing the game. And I think that the premise behind both of these, Mars and Evergreen, was that it was just to enjoy playing the game, and I've got to stop worrying about it. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what we're doing. We'll get this done. Yield should be pretty good. It's not going to be in the 800,000 litre bracket, but we'll have a load of crop. There'll be plenty to feed the chickens when we get them. I need to check on the pens actually. They're standard pens, aren't they? Yeah, standard in-game pens. So, like I said, I'm going to put half in, and then what we'll do is when we roll forward with our next set of crops and things like that, and they reproduce, that's when we'll get our full amounts. So, all good. That's the part. I mean, I could, with the money we've got, I could just buy them all. I mean, it's that thing of, it didn't stipulate in the rules that you had to, it just said you had to have X amount of animals. If it had said you have to start with 10 of each and you have to get X amount of animals, then fair enough. So I suppose technically, with the money I've got, I don't even have to do that. I could just buy all the animals I need. I'd just buy all of them, and then I've hit those targets already. I mean, I suppose I could do that, but the thing is, I still need crops. There's other crops I need, and I'm going to need other crops for pig food, unless, of course, I buy pig food. I have talked about that before, but I think I've done that quite a few times, so I think I want to either put in the parts, or, as I've mentioned earlier in this episode and previous episodes, I've got to stop doing that as well. I'm constantly justifying and explaining what I'm doing. I should just be doing it. The problem I get is I don't like to not help people. I've done Let's Plays before where I've just done a kind of very kind of Daggerwin and Scroft-esque, where it's been a storyline, and I try and stick as best as I can to that narrative, to that storyline. Then I get bombarded with questions asking me about why I'm doing what I'm doing, what equipment am I using, why did I use this for that. So what I've found I do a lot more now is, while I'm doing these things, I'm explaining what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I suppose that's it. I've got to flick a switch. Answer as a percentage today, I reckon I'm up around 80 today. Temperature's going up. It was quite warm in the man cave yesterday when I was doing my recording. I think by the weekend it's be up around 25, and I know, depending where you live, that's not very hot at all. But we've gone from really kind of not cold weather, but so some days are 8 degrees, 9 degrees Celsius, centigrade, and it's poured with rain and been miserable and horrible. So then all of a sudden it jumped to sort of 20, then it's 23, 24, 25 by the weekend, and this will probably be our summer now. Summer in May, get in. Although that thing I've always said, but keep saying about the seasons shifting, about things being different. that thing of growing up and in the summer holidays from school, when you had the late evenings and it was light till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and you could sit out and, you know, in July and August, you know, it was always just wow, you know. I sat, after I finished doing all my stuff yesterday, did a load of stuff on here, because this has taken a couple of days to do, to be fair. I went indoors, had my dinner, and it was 9:30. It was still light outside. It's May. What? So yeah, very peculiar. It's all changing. But what are you going to do? So what I will do is we will get. I tell you, that's the thing I'm going to have to do. We need to put in a cabin. I've got loads of sets of prefab walls there, good to go. That's been chugging away and doing its thing. And I've got my autonomous robot tractors that do like things like fertilising and rolling and things like that. But the harvesting, this is not autonomous, so I'm going to need a worker to work this. So when I set this off and running, we will have a worker on site, which means that worker's going to need somewhere to stay. So we'll have to put a cabin in. We can do that in this episode. It's just going to be we'll find a location, put one down. Might put a couple down. That way it gives us a couple of options for a few workers. Maybe on the next shuttle in we'll get some more workers in. One round done. So what I can do when this is off and running, we'll then get the forage wagon and we'll get that running. What I'll probably do is the first couple of loads I'll take over and I'll put into the cow barns immediately. And while it carries on running, I will then take over some silage and we'll take over some hay, get that all in. Then we'll go and grab the mineral feed, bring that over. And I'll probably grab the herdsman stick as well. That way we can get all the parts for Tolmic's ration and we can get the bedding in. And hopefully all will be well with the cows. And then once we've got, well, we've already got some, I've probably got enough already to feed the chickens. Once this has done a bit more, we've got a bit of overrun, haven't we? Yeah, once this has done a bit more, I love the turning circle on this. This thing is brilliant. We'll get the chickens in. I will then move over to doing the sunflower, but the sunflower, like I say, that's not for what I wanted to do in this episode, the 3 C's. I wanted to get some crops harvested, chickens and cows. So it's not as important, although it is a crop. We have done corn, we are doing wheat, and we are going to get that sunflower out. But I think what will happen is by the next episode I'll have the sunflower in the silo, and then I can just say to you, look, this is what we've done, and then we need to put more crops in. And again, I'm thinking I'm probably going to go root crop, just so I can knock off those even if I end up doing pigs last. I'm just concerned of not hitting those targets. I've put carrots in, we did red beet, so I'm probably going to do parsnip in one, potato in one, and then obviously there's the sugar cane. I don't know, we'll see. That's not going to be full yet. That did I say? I put the big top on that. That comes out at 29,100, I think it is. So that will chug away for a little while. Right. Let's get cracky-o-lacking with the forage wagon. I think I've put some. Yep. Not that's only good for grass, but I can't remember what the capacity on this set to. Whether it was on Mars standard or standard, I don't know. Turn it on, drop that down. We'll soon see. Just thinking where I could put some accommodation in. We are into another month, which means I need to do the next 948 trees. I mean, we've got to be up around 7,000 now. That's going to be knocking on 8. We can't be far off. It's going to be interesting to see when I'm putting them in. Because the problem I've got at the moment, because I've been keeping a tally, and as far as I can tell, my tally is accurate. But because I do my Let's Plays and stuff on multiplayer, just to allow me a bit of wiggle room and, you know, for all the various different things you need to do when you're Let's Playing. If you're in single player, you can check and it tells you how many trees you cut down. Multiplayer, you don't get that option. When you go into the menu, it doesn't tell you how many trees you've cut down or how many trees you've planted. I don't think it does. I'm sure you don't get that menu. No, we don't get that screen come up. So Yeah. So we won't know. I suppose what I could do, as long as I don't save it, I can bounce back into single player. It will tell me that it's merged my farms together if I've got multiple farms. And this is just a bit of advice as well. If you do that, that's why I don't have autosave turned on, because it can get dangerous when you're doing things and you make mistakes and things like that. You can't go back to your previous save if it then saves at the wrong moment, you know. If I go into single player, it will tell me it's merged the farms. I can check. As long as I come back out and don't save it, when I come back into multiplayer, it will still stay as it is. It will say it's merged, but if you save it, it will stay merged, and then it becomes a whole nother thing. I have done that before. Blimey, working that all out to reset it back up again was horrendous. So yeah, just to be warned, be aware of. No, we're doing right for straw actually. We should do pretty well off this field. I mean, it's a fair sized field. Just trying to think, I might have this. What's the capacity on this? The TARDIS XL could be a couple of 100,000 litres, couldn't it? I can't remember what this is set at. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll keep going. Right, I'll see you in a bit when we've got this in. We'll get it over to the cows, and then I'll say we'll get some silage in, we'll get some hay in, and then I'll get the mineral feed over with the herdsman stick. We'll get the cows sorted, and then I'll do some unloads of the wheat, and we'll get the chickens sorted. And then, you know, I'm happy. It's taken a while to get to this point. I think I focused again too heavily on, you know, it was like, oh cool, look at this, you know, we've got all this, it's Mars, it's a rock with all these minerals, and we can earn our money. And there's been a lot of, not controversy, but questions about the money. And I know I'm doing it again, I'm justifying it, but I'm just trying to kind of explain my logic behind it. And I kind of tried to explain, but didn't really, I don't know if I did explain it properly, I don't know. But my way of thinking is, if you were sent to Mars from Earth to run a colony to help feed the planet, to help save humanity, do you think the governments, whoever it is that has sent you up there, would say, right, off you go, we're going to land you on the planet, you're going to have nothing, good luck? Or are they going to say, look, you're the potential saviour of humanity, you're the person that's going to send crops back, you alongside however many other colonies that are there, we will fund you, whatever you need, we will fund you. And that was the reason for sending the minerals back and the gems and all that kind of stuff, was because they're getting something back out of it which softens the blow for funding, let's just say that. And like I say, because we've got targets to hit, this was never about building a farm up and making enough money, this was about hitting the targets. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's where we're at. Just thought I'd say. The harvest is going great guns. 2 full unloads of the harvester so far. 200,000 litres of straw here. I think I'll do the straw first, then we'll go and get the mineral feed and the cows, and then we'll get the other parts. I'll probably do that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've used a standard pen, should I say. So we'll go around the outside. That's the only downside to not being able to, although we managed to plough this up and put grass in, not being able to landscape in here, because I wanted to put a track in where the robot would go, and I'm not going to be able to. Now I've got to be careful here. Oh, I've got plenty of straw I can go and collect, but I can't remember what the capacities are of these. Like I say, I haven't used one for ages. Another reason for this being push and not tilt was because of the heights of the sheds. It makes life so much easier. That's still going to do that though. Is that full? We're full. And then what we'll do is we'll drive through and we'll do bedding. I haven't opened that up. Now this is the other thing as well. I remember when FS22 first came out, and we didn't really have any mods at that point, so it was a case of using whatever was it, you know. So it was looking at the base game stuff, and I had a real trouble for getting the straw triggers to work on these. And it seemed they would only take bales, and if they didn't, it would be be from a straw blower. Now I can't remember if they, like I say, I haven't used the base game standard ones in absolutely ages. That will keep them ticking over, and then what we'll do, I'm hoping this works. If it doesn't, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't really want to bale anything, because that means having to order a baler, and we haven't got one. So. So the trigger was always around here, but oh, there we go. Phew! Let's get the bedding in. Cool. Straight through and out the other side. Oh, it's a good feeling getting the first parts of this in, because I was talking about it so many episodes ago. When we get to the point when this has been harvested, and we're there. We're at that point. The harvest is ongoing at the moment, and we're getting the parts. And the work I did on the grass meant that we've got grass, we've got hay, we've got silage. I'm going to take over to the fermenter, so I'll unload this into the big silo. And the big silo is just out. It's a multi-fruit, multi-crop, so it'll be, you know, hay lofts, everything. It's going to serve every purpose. I mean, I could probably put a hay loft up here, but the fermenter's over here. It's all over here, so I don't mind driving backwards and forwards with trailers. That's not a problem. Sheep are doing well. I think we've got a couple of pallets of wool, 2 and a bit at each of the sheep pens, so the wool will have to be taken and shipped at some point. We can make clothing out of that if we want to. Bedding, I don't know. Whatever space pioneers do. So I'm going to see you in a minute. I'll come back over with the mineral feed and the cows. Or maybe I'll see you over there when we load that up. I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. I'm not sure how much of each of these. Last time we checked it was 143,000 litres or something, wasn't it? Can't remember. Should be able to load it into this. Or was that a normal trailer? Oh, I can't remember. What are we going to do? Oh, okay, so not quite a full load. We're not going to need the full load, but we'll fill it out with what we got, and then anything over and above we'll put it back into the silo as well, so at least we know it's all done. So this fermenting silo is working absolutely perfectly. So like I say, I will see you in a moment. I might put the hay in as well, so when we bring it all over we're good to go. And then on the hour, which is going to be only 6 minutes away, the robots should go and the first lot of feed will go in. Awesome. So I want to try and get the cows over here and in before then, so I need to speed up a bit. I didn't manage it. I didn't get her in time. I got a bit frantic, and in getting frantic I made a mistake with the mineral feed. I'm going to order some more anyway, so I'd have to be on the next hour at 1 o'clock. I didn't get over here with the hay. Got the straw in, got the silage in, got the mineral feed in, got the first set of cows in, but didn't quite make it on the hour. I say I didn't even got the first set of cows in. That's why I wasn't talking. It was like, gotta get in there, gotta get in there. Just couldn't do it before midday. But that's all right. So 40 cows on each side, so when they reproduce, that'll be the 80 each side, which will be the required 160 that the colony needs. So first set's in, that's good. Did I show the clip? Yeah, we've got a full load of wheat. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to whiz over, I'm going to go and grab the hay, bring that over here, then I'm going to go and grab the trailer. We're going to go into the chickens, which is this one. Pigs. We're going to go into the chickens and put the chicken feed in. I'm going to take the herdsman stick back over. We're going to grab the chickens and we'll get those in. Harvester, I think, has just filled again, so I just need to empty that. I can't empty that yet because I've got a full load. It's all going on. Okay, a giant leap for mankind is what it is. Honestly, this is a big step. It's a yeah. I'm very pleased. I've already put the first 180 chickens in because each one holds 360. Like I'm doing halves, so when they reproduce, they'll fill. I've put 2 roosters in each, but the herdsman stick only holds 200. So I brought over the roosters, cockerels, whatever you refer to them as, and then I put 180 in the first one, so now we're doing the second 180. I've got the wheat over here, so we'll get that in. The harvester is full and has stopped, but I say I can't unload that at the moment. And then I have put the bit of hay in for the cows, so what I'll carry on doing, I'll carry on with the wheat harvest and I'll carry on collecting straw to put into the silo. Then at 1 o'clock we'll get back over here. You've probably seen it before, but just see the robots in operation. So we should be there. Move to husbandry there. There we go. So 360 in total, 180 each side, and the roosters in there as well. Brilliant stuff. Chickens. It is unfortunate. I mean, I know I've got grass in here, and I can come and cut this whenever I want, but it's quite a waste of space. I don't know what I'd do with the space otherwise. I can't even, because I thought it might be quite nice to put some of the workers' accommodation, but you can't place anything in here. Small thing. I'll just go and drive out then. Wouldn't be a bad idea to actually feed them, would it? Is that all it took? Okay. Spin around to the other one. I think I need to adjust the angle of the trailer on this because I seem to be getting a lot of swing on the tractor. Nope, I want to be not at the door, I want to be at the silo. There we go. Okay. Trigger's not liking that. That's better. And there we go. So what we should be able to do now, our sheep are doing fine, producing wool, feed's good on those. Our Holsteins, straw in. No food yet because that'll need to be done on the hour. They don't require water. they're in, feeds in, straws in, again, nothing in there, feeds in, we're good. We are good. That's 3 of the 4 sets of animals underway. Once they all reproduce, bang, target's hit. But that's, I'm very pleased with that. I'm going to get back over now. I'm going to empty this out into the silo, and then we'll carry on with the straw harvest. Like I said, I'll carry on. I'll do that off camera. I'll carry on with the harvest. I'll carry on collecting the straw and putting that into the silo. And then, if I don't forget, at 1 o'clock we'll come back over and just get those feeding robots, making sure they're operating correctly. I'm kind of out of stone everywhere now. There is some up there somewhere, but I haven't gone to collect any yet. But all the stone that was out and about is done. So it's only what's coming out of that little quarry now. So at some point that is going to run down to a bare minimum. So this rapid increase in finances, it will slow down. But I'm just thinking now, we've got crops to go in the ground. Depending on what I want to harvest, I might get a sugarcane harvester, because the harvester we bought is a multi-purpose harvester. So all of our root crops we can do with that. I think we can do sugarcane with it as well, but I don't know whether or not just to do something a little bit different, and use something a bit different. I'll have to have a look and see what. We haven't got many sugarcane harvesters available actually. Slow down, slow down. There we go. Let's get. Do I want that in that, or do I want that in a standard one? No, I think we'll leave this. We'll have this one for root crops and forage, and we'll have the colony silos, the food storage, for we'll do it for food storage. We have got a grain mill actually up here, haven't we? That was already here, so we could, if we wanted to, we could get some flour going. I'll put this in the middle. I'm not going to remember where any of these things are, am I? This does not want to stop. Oh. It's a lot of weight, right. I'll see you at 1 o'clock. It's just before 1. Hopefully the robots will work. They've got everything they need. The wheat harvest is done. I'm still collecting straw. There we go. We have got about 130,000 litres of wheat left, other than what we fed the chickens. So that's going to do its thing that side. That should do its thing that side. The robot should run round and feed the cows. So at least I have some feeding. I'll be happy then. I can relax. I can relax in the knowledge that they've been fed. These things always still fascinate me. I think they're absolutely brilliant. I'm assuming in real life there are pig pens that have these. I know we've got pig food mixers in game, but it'd be cool to have a sort of just a base game pig food mix that does this. We've had a couple of various different cow barns that have had robots that have done all sorts of. I can't remember what map tour it was I did, where the track that the robot ran. I remember when I filmed it, it took about 7 minutes. It went miles. It was amazing. That should be the last bit in. Door should open. Door should open. Please work. Whoosh. So that one should open as well. Should be. There you go. Look. There goes the other one as well. I say I wanted to have the track for the robot to run on, but I can't do anything. I suppose what I could do is mulch this maybe. Come in here. I could come in with a small cultivator, a front cultivator, and just do a kind of cultivated track that it runs on, couldn't I? That might work. Just have a route that it follows when it kind of works properly. That one should be coming in there as well. And there we are. Like I said, giant leaps for mankind. Well, on Mars anyway. And that's it for this episode. I need to get the rest of that straw off that field. I need to decide what crop I'm going to put in it. Then I need to get over and get the sunflower sorted out. So next time you see us, I'll probably have 2 more crops in the ground. Oh, do I want to just go straight off the back of this and have the crops going in the ground? I mean, it's using the same sower planter, just whatever crop I'm going to put in, and then it'll be. I can direct drill into the wheat one. Sunflower should be the same. I should be able to direct drill, and it'll be fertilising. Oh, I'm rolling, I suppose. I haven't done any. I keep forgetting to mulch. I should mulch after the harvest, shouldn't I, really? That's very remiss of me. I'm losing a little bit on bonus if I don't mulch, but we should be good. That should be fed. All is good in the world. Robots will go back to the next hour and they'll keep chugging away. I've got enough stuff on the go and enough straw now that I can keep topping this up if I need to. I might leave it and see how many days it will go by before it starts to really run down. But I'm looking at our figures down there. For our hay, silage and straw, we should be good for a while. I might need to get some more mineral feed, so I might need to order some more of that. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.